To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. Thanks for everybody joining us tonight. Comic Collectibles here with my buddy John, and of course our buddy AR. Out in remote, where Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So joining us
he's
tonight.
probably thinking remote New Jersey, right?
Well, no, he's from this area. Remember, he's from Westchester, right?
Allentown, but I lived in Westchester for like 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a local boy, relocated, so to speak.
For now.
So, there you go. So a lot of great comics for everybody tonight. I know it is New Comic Book Day.
Today is hashtag NCBD New Comic Book Day.
Best day of the week.
Best day of the week, exactly.
Best day of the week.
So, John, I'm gonna let you do your thing, and AR is gonna feel free to jump in with any opinions, comments, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even if you want to tell John that his new watch that he just received, okay, looks like it's plastic, but he paid, to John, $500 for a watch is a bargain. We were just discussing this before we went on the air.
This is a watch that just dropped. So yeah, this is actually I appreciate Invicta giving me a discount. I'm a frequent buyer, and I appreciate the discount. I really do.
He gets frequent flyer miles from an Invicta.
A $500 Wolverine watch? I mean, I know you're a big Wolverine fan, but I didn't.
You know what cracks me up? I get the Batman ad like daily. Daily in my Invicta email, like, hey man, we have this Joker watch, we have this Batman watch.
Who's this Batman you speak of?
I so desperately
That's his other favorite.
One day, like I'm waiting for the Green Hornet watch. Where is that? Echo. No, they have a couple really cool, like if you're a Star Wars fan, they have like these understated wristwatches that like you could wear to work. I mean, yeah, sure, they got the big Superman watch that's like out to here and it plays the song or whatever. But if you're like a suit and tie person, you work in a cubicle, you work in a real job, they have these great sort of subtle watches that you would have to look at it to know it's like, the Imperial Cog from Star Wars or something, you know what I mean? And they're not that crazy expensive either.
So, definitely, I'm sure they haven't come out with a Batman watch. The man is, the character is so underexposed.
They have like 19 different versions of Batman watches from like $90 to like $1,000. It all depends.
The only watches that John doesn't actually have in his collection.
And I'll tell you another watch I don't currently have in my collection because they just gave the last one I had to my niece.
Green Hornet, we know that.
Yeah, right now. Hey, don't laugh. I talked to a guy about making one of those once, and it was just
custom made.
Yeah, custom made. I gave my niece my last Mickey Mouse watch.
Oh, isn't that nice?
And she lives in Disney World. She's going to be working for Disney. So I had the Millennium Edition from Skagen, Danish company.
You probably should reverse that. She probably could have gotten you a discount on the next Disney.
You know what's funny? That's the first thing my wife said. My wife was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
she's going to work for Disney. That means
duh. I like to meet your wife. She sounds like the brains of the family.
I heard that Disney program's really cool.
Wait, say that again?
I heard that Disney program is really cool. I had friends that after they graduated high school, they actually moved down to Disney for whatever work program is.
I've heard different stories. I'll be honest with you. I heard my daughter and I were there. My daughter played college softball, and we were in the big tournament in Florida at the beginning of the season. And with COVID, the whole thing collapsed. And I already had paid for a Airbnb with another family on her team, and we ended up going. And literally, we were there the Sunday before they shut Disney down for the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the kids that we were in line with were those college kids that go down for the college program. So I was talking to them and got a lot of insight. So yes, it is cool, but on another level, it's really not that cool. Just in different levels, but that'll be a discussion. Hey, maybe we can talk about this on your show one time.
I was going to say, talk about this on your show.
I'm about it.
But hey, Ron's here in the house, which means Ron is free from lockdown.
Hey, Ron,
so
what's up, bud?
Good to see that. Proof of life, Ron. Proof of life, buddy. This way we know you're still okay. So go ahead, John, hit it.
We're at New Comic Book Day, #NCBD. Almost pretty much any social media platform you're part of, drop in #NCBD and you'll get all the stuff come up. This week we have 2 very cool books from Dynamite. First book, and I've talked about this a bunch of times. I've talked about this on other comic book podcasts. One of the big-time sleeper books that Dynamite does is Jennifer Blood. Great character, great backstory. Really, really, really looking forward to the announcement someday when they turn this thing into an animated series or whatever.
It'll be a Disney series.
I was going to say be a Disney Plus. Okay.
No, for kids.
So I don't know if we have we do have the images for this week. We also have one without the trade dress, Lucio Perillo cover. I was so glad. I kind of tease Nick a lot. Everybody who works here knows pretty much every book Dynamite does, I want them to keep doing in perpetuity. That's not, it's not realistic. I was really hoping though, like Jennifer Blood would be seen again, because I think it's a very timely character.
Right.
I think now more than ever, we have more women reading books. And I think this is a book that appeals to everybody. That kind of old school thinking of this appeals to this, that appeals to that, Archie's for kids, whatever. You can set all that aside, right? What we need are characters that appeal to everybody.
Yes.
Different ages, both genders, whatever, different parts of the country, different parts of the world. We need books with wide appeal. And I got to tell you, if you don't like Jennifer Blood, comic books might not be for you. At least not these kinds of comic books, because this is just like a trippy thrill ride.
I would say that Batman, if that's a character you don't like, comic books may not be for you. But another shot at John today.
It doesn't say DC up here.
I know, but it gets under your skin, so I just have fun with it.
Media is not paying us.
So yesterday I went to have lunch at one of the places that John recommended, and the food was excellent. I had the street pulled pork tacos with baked beans and collard greens and a side of coleslaw, homemade coleslaw, and I dropped John's name. They threw me out.
Deadbeat still owes me for lunch.
They're like, you know who? Get out of our store.
That's the worst one.
Give us the street tacos back. Yeah, that little old lady that grabbed the street tacos back for me, she was tough. She was tough, man. She was a tough one. But go ahead, because we got some interesting covers.
We got some interesting covers this week. The other book we have coming out is Red Sonja #2, the Mirko and Dolfo run. This is just very, very cool.
I love that cover.
I'm hoping we have the image for this too. It's like a great juxtaposition between the child-friendly animated dogs,
right,
and Red Sonja, with usually blood caked on the sword or whatever. And we have, I just might think of taking these home anyway. These are metal covers. And I'm guessing probably not too many of these were made.
Hopefully it comes up better when JD throws it up. I know we've tried to show that kind of metallic kind of covers before, and it doesn't work so good when we do it. That
was an awesome issue too.
So AR, what do you see coming out this week, buddy?
Well, as far as Dynamite goes, Red Sonja issue 2 as a fantastic issue. I really did enjoy it. I know we talked about it, I think, on the last episode, that I've never read Red Sonja until this series. So Mirko and Dolfo's doing a great job. The artwork's fantastic. The storytelling, it all flows very well. And I thought this issue, I'm not going to get into it because everyone needs to read it. But I felt like this issue really stood out compared to the first one because you really got to see Red Sonja as a character. And I just really like that development. And plus that cover's awesome. I couldn't get it though. And I'm really disappointed because my shop didn't have Jennifer Blood. And that's actually one I was really looking forward to reading after we were done talking about it.
You send me an email, AR. We'll get it to you somehow.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know a guy. So
we'll send John. Short drive to Oklahoma.
Let me
Got any watch stores out there? Because then I can really get him motivated to drive out there.
There was a watch store in Oklahoma City, Invictus store in Oklahoma City.
Somehow he would know this stuff.
It used to come up on this thing. I don't know if it's still there or not. A lot of those kind of niche retail stores closed during the pandemic because,
Yeah.
So JD's letting us know that Miss Jen interviewed the new writer of Jennifer Blood, Fred Van Lente.
Awesome.
And on Talking Shop, it'll be on Monday, so check it out. Definitely to get some insight. And Jen King runs a great show, great interview every time. So, and since we're talking about
that's
Dynamite
how we
Comics,
find out what's in the box.
yeah, right. It's mishmash. That's what's in the box.
Is what's in the box.
So, and great way to segue. We're gonna have this every show. Our Dynamite 10-pack readers pack. So it will be 10.
What's in the pack?
What's in the pack?
What's in the pack?
10 random Dynamite titles. And we're selling it for $5 for 10 titles with a minimum retail value of $40 overall. So each one of these has a minimum cover price of $3.99. And you'll get 10 books for $5, 50 cents a book. And really just number one, promote comic collecting as a whole. Kind of kickstart if you're a new collector, a new reader, kind of kickstart your collection, and also introduce people to Dynamite titles because as independents, sometimes you don't have that reach. As AR mentioned, sometimes the Dynamite titles aren't at his local comic shop.
There's only so much I can do,
and he works hard, but every now and again he has to take some time off, to buy watches and stuff.
And I want to assure people in the Dynamite 10-pack. There have been very few misses Dynamite has done in like the last 15 or 16 years. I will go through each 10-pack, and if I see one of those misses, I'm just going to put it over to the side because I don't want anyone to see that.
And seriously, we just give him some free comics and ask him not to lick the glass in the front, and that's it.
3 years in a row, you know who organized the Dynamite Trivia Contest at Wizard World in Philadelphia?
Let me take a guess.
Not Nick. Nick.
So
Amy. It should have been Amy. It would have been much more. It would have been much more organized if it was Amy.
So the Dynamite 10-pack reader set is available. Will be available every show. If you're catching the show after it's broadcast live, it will still be available. And just to remind everybody, it is 10 random Dynamite titles with a minimum cover price of $3.99. And you're getting it for 50 cents a comic. I guarantee you ain't nobody making any money on that one.
Now.
Yeah, that barely covers the cost of printing and shipping.
And each pack will have a John approved sticker on it.
And we can do that, but you got to make the stickers yourself.
No.
Because at 50 cents a title, a cover, a comic, we can't cover that.
Just come to me. It's a holofoil sticker. Oh wait, somebody's already done that. Never mind.
We'll just take a Sharpie and write John.
It'll be the post-it.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
good.
There you go. We'll tape it down. We'll tape it down on the outside plastic.
But yeah, absolutely. New comic book day. Just to wrap this up before we move on. Hit those local comic book stores. Pick up your pull lists, your books, and your boxes. It's so important to the industry. I mean,
it is.
Today we just had the finale of What If. Tremendous episode, tremendous wrap up of the season. A little bit of a teaser of what you're going to see next season. The journey from your local comic book shop to Disney Plus is like a journey of 1,000 steps, but you still have to have that first sort of get going. And that first get going is a local comic book store.
Wow, dude, that was deep.
It was.
That was deep, right, AR? Wow.
Like the other one where I was like, in the wilds of comics, the local comic book store is the soil in which the seed is planted.
That one was a good one. I actually reused that. I did. When I was on Rock and Robbie's show, I actually reused that one. And I think Robbie had some really funny comment.
How high are you?
It's like, dude, in the dirt,
No,
so, and then I said, oh, that was John. I was totally John.
I mean, we like to have a lot of fun with it, but the truth is, your local comic book store supporting is really important to this industry.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't want to live in a world where, you can't shoot down your local comic book store, say hey to other fans, interact, ask the retailer, what's going on? Your retailer gets to know you, right?
Yes.
And so your retailer will be like, hey, you know what? You should really check this out.
And that's the best part about it.
It is. It is. So, all right. So, you know what? Let's start off with one of our perfect 10 reads at $10.
Okay.
All right. Doc Savage, number 5, high-end Alex Ross Virgin Art Ultra Limited cover.
Wow.
It's suggested retail of $75. And this is one of our perfect 10 reads tonight at $10. And we have one available. So
that's such a cool cover.
I mean, I think we almost always have Alex Ross something or another. I think we have some Alex Ross signs.
We do have some Alex Ross signed stuff too. This is from the Chris Roberson run. I had the good fortune to catch Chris Roberson a few years ago at Comic-Con. We got to talk about Doc Savage a little bit. Creators absolutely love these kinds of characters from yesteryear.
Right.
Pulp characters, Doc Savage. I've talked to a few different creators about this. Bill Quisively was like, I think, her first real show, like a book to show what she could do in this genre in the US. I mean, she'd done stuff here and there, but when you're working with Chris Roberson, I mean, this is the guy that did Monkey Brain Press. He's done a ton of books before and since. Edison Rex. This is sort of, people know. Right. People know what's coming, right? So, you know what I mean? When she's working with them, we get Alex Ross doing the covers or whatever. And her work was very good on this. I know she's since moved away from these kind of characters, but this is probably amongst the best of the Doc Savage books in recent publication history. Really a great story here.
Well, and Alex Ross is just I'm a huge fan. Obviously, you guys know, AR knows, John knows. We've talked about him. First time seeing his artwork, you're kind of looking at it like, is that a picture? Is that a drawing? What is it?
You can look at the cover and see this is Doc in space. This series kind of starts in the 1938 timeline, and I think this particular issue is like in the 80s, and he somehow finds himself in space. People who know Doc Savage,
got gold skin. It's not a big thing.
It's bronze skin. He's
I'm sorry, bronze skin. Sorry.
You know what? When this comes up,
didn't mean to offend you, John.
When this comes up in your HR review, don't blame me.
I thought they were going to hire you for the HR department.
It's just me asking questions. What? If you don't know Doc Savage, get out.
Listen, your review's going to be great. Can you get me some Dynamite comics from the back if you would? You get me 10 of them, and guess what? A+ on your review.
Yeah, I know, right? But particularly this book, I looked at what we have tonight. We have a lot of really cool stuff tonight. But even if you don't go for this, at the $10, I'd hate to not see somebody get this. Go buy the back issues. Go buy the trade. I'm pretty sure there's a trade for this. It's just a great way to introduce new fans to Doc Savage. And for old fans like me, I mean, my father introduced me to Doc Savage. He used to read the pulp novels. As a little kid, he'd read them so often they'd be falling apart. These old paperbacks stuck in the garage. I remember they'd be held together with tape, stapled through part of it. My dad loved Doc Savage, and he's just a really cool character, and it's sort of very timely. You know what I mean? Doc Savage came at a time when things were, science had run a little bit amok. There's a lot of misinformation. People didn't know what to believe or where to turn. And now all of a sudden we get to 2018, 2020, 2021. And we're almost like a little bit there again. And Doc is sort of like a real stabilizing influence for comics.
Right. No, I agree with you. I mean, what did we think? There was a movie years ago, wasn't there?
Ron Eli. It was kind of campy.
Yeah, Ron Eli, Tarzan. Yeah.
He was Tarzan. He was Doc Savage. It was campy. There's this persistent rumor that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, wants to play Doc Savage. And I think he would be perfect for that role.
I think he would be as well.
I think the problem is he's too busy getting 7 figures from Warner Media to be Black Adam.
True.
And,
that's
you
true.
kind of look at the,
All right.
I was going to say, I feel like I've heard that rumor.
Say that again, AR?
I was going to say, I feel like I've heard that rumor before, too, that he was trying to play Doc Savage.
He might be willing, if he wants to do it enough, he might be willing, to compromise. And, actors have done that before.
Him and his business partner, his former wife, are very smart in that they have a small staff. And I watched this on a documentary about the company. It's like $7 or whatever it's called. And basically, they really look for stuff that's kind of hot and trendy and appropriate for Dwayne Johnson to play a role in. Now, if you look at Dwayne Johnson, especially as he got a little bit older, and you look at Doc Savage, I mean, there's, with the exception of the tribal tattoos he has, it's right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
and well, you can take care of that with some
You know what I
makeup.
mean? Doc Savage is one of these guys that he's really smart. He's superhuman. You know what I mean?
I think that Dwayne Johnson would be awesome in that role.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him. I like his work to begin with.
It's hard not to like him in anything. I mean,
it's
you know what I mean? People liked him when he was a football player. They liked him when he was a pro wrestler. They liked him when he was on TV and movies. Someday they did a sitcom where the guy is going to be the president in a few years, and they turned to my wife and said, when he runs for president in a few years, we're going to look back on this and laugh because he's like the Tom Hanks for like everybody under 50.
Right. No, I would agree. I'm a big fan of his as well. So AR, we're going to do something, and this is going to be a surprise to you because I didn't warn you in advance. Now, look, he's getting nervous. He's thinking about what's he going to say.
I'm sweating.
We're going to do.
We
We started this Monday, so there are going to be certain items on tonight's show that we're going to run as a claim process starting at $1. So our first one of the night.
Best offer takes it.
Best offer takes it. So we are going to start with Deathstroke Inc. #1. Okay. Where is it? It's got to be here somewhere, right?
Nice.
It's there.
It's right here. Amy says it's there. We know it's there. So Deathstroke Inc. #1, and we're going to start the claims at $1. So the way this works is that the person with the highest claim by $7.55 will get the book. So if you are the only claim at $1,
it's yours. You actually got
it's yours at $1. And we're going to do this with
someone else will be doing this next week.
Yeah. Well, everything for $1.
Everything for $1.
Well, you got one on Monday. You couldn't resist. What was it? The Green Hornet one, the Shadow and Green Hornet. That's right. I knew once I threw that up, there was no way John would be able to resist. He was trembling a little bit.
In reality, the publisher should probably just be sending those directly to me. I shouldn't have to go through the middleman. Why waste Rex's time? You know those should be sent to me regardless.
Oh, Rex enjoys it.
Yeah. How many emails does Rex get? Hey, can you find this from 2012? It's Buck Rogers. It really. What?
And then I send it to the operations guy, and they send me memes with people hysterically laughing.
Yeah, I'm not sure so.
So that's Deathstroke Inc. #1. Claim started at $1. So if you're the only claim,
is the writer. I'm honored to say, we're mutuals on Twitter. I've followed that guy since I guess like Dear Dracula, and Masks and Mobsters is the thing that he really sort of kind of showed those chops that you see now. He does Batman.
Right.
Very quick story. We used to do a comic sort of fantasy draft every year, and we pick a writer and an artist. The year I picked Josh Williamson, he was sort of like a dark horse, and I said, just so you know, this guy's going to be doing Batman someday. And of course, now he's doing Batman, and he's doing all these kind of Batman-esque titles. He did Ghosted, which every once in a while, the rumor pops up that they're going to do something with that. Maybe it's going to be an animated movie. Maybe if you haven't checked out Ghosted from Image, go check it out in the trade. It's really cool.
So once again, Deathstroke Inc. #1. The claims start at $1. Highest claim walks away with it at $7.55 this evening.
She wanted to Howard Porter cover. I mean, let's be honest. Howard Porter did the art. Dima Ivano did the cover. At $1, I'm hoping to see someone.
Well, now when we did it on Monday, not everything went for $1. I don't think
anything went for $1. Well, people have time to think about it, and they're like, well, like eBay. I'll wait, and then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of
right. All of a sudden, we got
a bunch of offers.
It got a little crazy. And I think we have actually a statue tonight as well, which we'll bring on.
Nice.
I'm excited about the statue.
That was a John idea. Yeah, that was actually John.
Nick a little bit. I love statues, right? And I was like, hey, look, let's see. And I know people are here for comics, but they're also collectors looking for collectibles. And the statue we have tonight, we'll see a little bit later. Very timely for this week's New Comic Book Day. And I just think it's just really neat. It's a really cool item. Hopefully
it was a good suggestion. I mean, I'm surprised we hadn't thought of it. Oh, look, we got our buddy Jim or James. We call him Jim. Great guy, by the way. He's in for 2, but only if John keeps his cheesesteak mitts off of it.
Fair enough.
Jim, can't guarantee that, buddy. We'll do our best.
We'll do our best. No, that's why the images.
But I'm going to tell you, he was going to bring lunch next week, and you may be out of the loop here, Jim. I'm just saying, man. All right. So, but also before we're almost at break, but before we go to break, I want to encourage everybody. First of all, if it's your first time joining us, if you want to claim anything, put in the chat. And then afterwards, there will be a link that our producer will throw up, and a QR code, or a QR code. And please fill out the submission form so we have all the relevant information, like where to ship it to, what your real name is, so on and so forth. We'll get you invoiced, and we'll get the book out to you, or whatever you claim right out to you. The second thing I wanted to mention is, if you haven't, I'm sure a lot of people viewing, are already fans of AR. But if you are viewing and you have not checked out AR's YouTube channel, and JD, when you have a chance, if you don't mind throwing up that link, AR Comics, it's a great channel. AR is a very knowledgeable guy, and his shows are tremendous, engaging. But he'll drop some serious comic book knowledge on you. And
it's a bit of a deep dive into the story behind the story, right?
Yes,
everybody's always looking for a little insider baseball or whatever. This is the place to get it.
Stop
emailing me. I'm not telling you.
You liar! You love it when they email you.
I absolutely love it when they email me.
I mean, you're a social media maven, like a teenager.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, you are, dude.
On Twitter a little bit.
Twitter a little bit. Okay. On Monday when Facebook went down, you were like the emperor at that point, because everybody was on Twitter.
When is the show coming on? I'm like, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
So, but definitely, I encourage everybody to check.
Another book?
I don't think so. Actually, I think we might have to go to break.
Oh, okay.
But you want to throw something up to preview when we come back?
Yeah, I just
pick something, buddy.
We had a couple of these tonight, but I really, we've talked a lot about this. My favorite version of Batman, and people are like, you have a favorite version of Batman? I do, and it's Batman.
When Bane broke his back.
It's Batman.
That was when he was happy.
And we've got a really cool book, and we'll get to it when we come back from the break. It's Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice. It's
kind of like an IDW DC crossover. This is the exclusive Dynamic Forces cover, which people probably have not seen a lot of. The DF covers were sort of that, chase book, retailer incentive, however you want to say it. I know people that really like the whole Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja thing. If this is your deal, come back after the break, and this is probably something you want to check out.
Absolutely. So, hey, JD, take us to break, buddy.
Today's comics market is ripe with new titles by creators who are determined to get their books into your hands. My name is Henri Compen. For the last decade, I've been making and selling my own creator-owned comics and dealing as a collector in live sales. My signature series, Yi Sun Shin, is the book that cannot be defeated in battle and has over 250,000 copies in print. Now I'm taking comics to the next level and laying the groundwork for my fellow creators to get their voices heard so they can connect directly with you. This is your chance to engage live with top comic book talent and get your comics signed without having to wait in long lines or pay any fees. But remember, we only have a limited amount of their books in stock, so always remember to call it as you see it.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
And we're back with
Hello.
John and my buddy AR to talk about comics and whatever else comes into our heads. And Dead Sled Coffee. Where is my coffee, John?
Supply chain issues.
Don't you get one of those pictures off of Google where they have those cargo ships backed up at the LA port?
You know, it's really funny. I say this all the time. I actually had to call the person who runs this. And I'm like, where's my coffee?
Worse than
That's part of the agreement.
They are going to drink some water there or what, buddy?
That's all I had. The big jug.
No, listen to this. Listen to this. So, and AR, you'll know what I'm talking about. I always forget you are from this area. So last night I go to Wawa to get a cup of coffee. The one right down the street.
Okay.
They are out of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, everything has the out. I'm like,
Really?
are you guys like seriously out of coffee? He goes, yeah, we're almost out of everything.
I'll tell you how bad it's gotten. A person I've mutual from Twitter for years and years. She's been on magazine covers, a little bit of like a cosplayer model type. She waits for this time of year. She waits for that Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. She stumbles out of bed, puts on her Uggs and her vest, shuffles on down the street of Toronto, hits Starbucks. What do you think they are out of?
Coffee?
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
They're out of everything. And if you go to Starbucks this time of year, that's half of what they've got, man.
Yeah, I know, but I can't stand
It's all over the
pumpkin
place.
spice personally.
Now, see, I'm a big pumpkin guy.
What's that?
I'm a big pumpkin guy. Love
I
it.
got nothing against pumpkins. I just don't want pumpkin spice and everything.
See,
I'm about it. Like,
I'm
all about it.
You're not going to be on the show next time.
Probably not. You two pumpkin boys, and I'll be
You know
watching
what?
and
But now I'll be honest. I had the Wawa pumpkin spice for the first time in, I guess ever. Because when we came home, they were just like, when I came home to visit, they were just bringing it out. I'm going to be honest.
Right.
I didn't think it was very good. And I'm a big pumpkin fan.
I love, and
it was way too sweet.
Here's what's weird is I like pumpkin pie. I genuinely love pumpkin pie. Even ones that are questionable, but you know what it reminds me of? Woolworths. When they used to have a diner, my mom used to take me there, and I'd always get a slice of the pumpkin pie with a little whipped cream on it. But anyway, but I just don't like pumpkin spice and everything. It's
I'm
not
not
my
a big
thing.
fan of flavored coffee. I like the flavor of coffee.
Yes,
I like a dark kind of Italian coffee.
I do too.
This time of year, I want it with like pumpkin cream pie from the Vincenttown Diner, and that's like my sort of holiday. I sit at the counter. Lady brings me my coffee.
Pumpkin cream. I gotta try
pumpkin
that.
cream pie.
I know where that
photos
diner
of it
is.
before.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. It's the best of a cream pie. It's pumpkin that they get from a farm. I think is literally 6 or 7 miles down.
I can't look at your photos of food without eating first.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, it gets bad. But you had when we went out of the break, you had picked something up there. The Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1.
Ken Hazer sketches are on here.
Yep. Now those are two separate ones. One has
separate ones.
Has a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle head sketch, and the other one has your favorite guy, a Batman head sketch.
It's Nickelodeon. These are the Dynamic Forces covers. I've talked to a lot of people that they really dig the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle dynamic. I personally don't get it, but there are fans out there of this particular dynamic.
It was huge.
You've got these kind of goofy pizza eating, kids, and
So we got Rad Dad with us tonight. Thank you for joining us,
Thanks
man.
for joining us.
All right, so
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big TMNT fan. Honestly, I think I really like it all. You throw anything Turtles my way, big fan.
we need a decent movie, but
So my understanding is that we're going to start this at $1, and the best offer.
Yes, we are. So We're going to start with the Batman head sketch because John's a big fan of Batman. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1 Dynamic Forces exclusive cover, signed and remarked with a Batman head sketch, and it retails for $69.99. And as we were saying, if you just joined us, we're starting something new. Select items on tonight's show will start at $1, and until $7.55, the person with the highest claim will walk away with the comic. Yeah. Or actually, we'll ship it to you. You don't get to walk away unless you're John.
Unless you're me.
Unless you're John. We only have one available, obviously, at these ridiculous prices. Because they could theoretically go for $1.
I'll give you $2 at the end of the night. $7.54. I'll be like, here's $2. Thanks, man.
You need to get me my coffee, sir.
Now I'll tell you, if that other one doesn't get claimed, I'm definitely going to claim that. 100%.
They're a lot of fun. I mean, like I said, I joke around a lot. It's true, I'm not the biggest Batman fan. I really like the Batman animated series, Batman Adventures.
Those comics are really good too.
For Batman.
So Rad Dad is asking, is that a Hulk? It is, and you know what, Rad Dad? We'll get to that item next.
Yeah, let's do that next. If people, we always say this all the time, if people are in the chat and you see something up here that we haven't gotten to yet, put it in the comments. We absolutely love to,
we absolutely love to talk endlessly. That's for sure. And hold on. Okay, here we go. So Incredible Hulk #1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. So this is definitely. Ron is put in a claim for $10 for the Batman remark. I got you down here, buddy. That means his wife has stepped out of the room.
Now I do have a question for you guys.
Let me see. Do we have any other Hulks? Yeah, no. Yeah, we know which one you're talking about, buddy.
You mean this one right here?
So this is the Incredible Hulk #1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. And tonight we have it for $29.99, and we only have the one. And we talk about this all the time. Maybe one day we'll really do a show and call it the Ken Hazer Hour.
I would like to reach out to Ken and see if he wants to sit in for a little bit.
That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That would be pretty cool.
Now, I have a question for you guys.
That we could do like a Ken Hazer Power Hour,
yes,
at least.
Yes. And Rad Dad is claiming the Incredible Hulk. Gotcha down here, buddy. Rad Dad. And just a reminder to either click on the QR code that JD will throw up in a second, or the link for the submission form. So we have your ship to address and relevant information like your email and stuff, so we can communicate with you. And we'll get an invoice right out to you, and we'll get it packed up and shipped out to you.
That's just a great pickup, man. Ken is, we've talked about this before. Ken just sort of is able to channel whatever he's looking at. That is like a serious green rage monster that he draws on the cover.
And we got Jim, our buddy Jim. Ken is awesome. A Power Hour with him would be fantastic. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to try to put that together.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be so cool to have him on. Obviously, we're big fanboys of Ken.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is money. There's just no other way to put it.
Yeah. So Rad Dad was wanted you to continue what your point there, AR.
So I had a question for both of you guys. So every week we have a bunch of Ken Hazer stuff, and it's always awesome. Now, do you guys have an exclusive deal with Ken Hazer, or do you just happen to have a lot of his stuff?
We just happen to have a lot.
He's locked in the basement, and we just make him draw for his food.
You're not supposed to say that stuff.
Oh, all right. We got him.
I know.
They're taking you, buddy. All right, I'm going to act all innocent.
Ken's
AR's going to back me
down
up.
to about that little bit now
because I take care of logistics, so AR needs me around. So we're pushing you under the bus, brother. Take him away. As I understand, we do not have an exclusive. Now, believe it or not, AR, I know you're going to find this surprising, but within Dynamite and Dynamic Forces, not everything is cleared through my office. So what I do know is that we've had a long-term relationship with him, obviously, and his, as you can see, his stuff is just fantastic. So whenever we have an opportunity, not to say, and this is a John line, not to disrespect any of the creators out there, but Ken Hazer has a flair for this. I mean,
Yeah, everybody sort of has their thing,
yes,
right? Like we talk about this. Alex Ross is, as an artist, is all about the moment.
Yes.
Right? That scene where, that kind of like the hero shot in the movie.
Yes.
He kind of takes a hero shot and puts it in a comic.
And,
right?
and his range, I think, is what's so impressive.
I think Ken sort of gets this, I'm grabbing this blank and I've got to bring this to life in a reasonable period of time, but in a personalized way. It just can't be like
All right, hold on. We got Ronald in the house here. He says, the night you have Ken Hazer hour, I will be claiming under my witness protection name, Kaiser.
It's Kaiser Sose.
Oh my gosh. Ronald's been a viewer with us since very much the beginning when John and I started working together. We appreciate you, Ronald. We always do. Very funny guy. At first, he was very stoic. He didn't put anything on the chat boards that he seemed very straight up. And then when his wife started to put the kibosh on his purchases, we got to find out exactly how funny Ron is. And I know he communicates with them.
Everybody makes
and he cracks us up. I mean, and we appreciate you, Ron. I just want to say, and hey, Ron, stay safe and make sure every few minutes you're putting something on the chat so we know you're okay.
Blink if you're okay in the room.
That's right.
Just remember, when you're in witness protection, you don't want to go anywhere where they put ketchup on pasta.
Oh my God! It's egg noodles and ketchup.
It's egg noodles and ketchup.
Oh my God!
Hold on. People do that?
Warm because you might have asthma.
Freiburg. Oh my God!
All right. So what do you guys? You know what, AR? Why don't you pick something?
Wait, hold on. People put ketchup on pasta.
I know, dude.
That's the thing.
Hey, you're the one that relocated to Oklahoma. It's more likely to happen there than here.
I have never seen that out here.
It's how the hardcore Italian Americans describe Italian food in places like Arizona, where there's just not a whole lot of the cultural reference and groundwater. Like you go to South Philly, it's hard to find a bad plate of pasta. You know what I mean? If you go down to Atlantic City, like a block behind the boardwalk.
Yeah, if you find a bad plate of pasta in South Philly, you pulled it out of the dumpster.
You pulled it out.
It's
That's
old.
what happened
when you
right
start
there.
getting to places like, and I'm not bashing these places. Let me be clear.
Before he says anything, I want to disclaim and disown anything that comes out of his mouth from this point forward. I'm just saying.
When you get to places like maybe Scottsdale, Arizona, or Omaha, Nebraska, there's not like
I personally love the state of Arizona. I'm just saying.
Well, if you've ever seen that PBS special, The Italian American Experience, they have a map to show you how Italians arrived in this country and where they settled, right? And it's very much, from like Boston down to Baltimore, a little bit in Florida, a little bit in New Orleans. And then there's like most of the country where they're not.
Yeah.
And then they show up again like in San Francisco.
They go to those in the Midwest go to Olive Garden.
Yeah, and then of course Chicago. There's a
Chicago.
ton of the people in Chicago. There's huge swaths of the country where they did a study a couple of years ago, and the primary heritage of the average New Jerseyan is Irish and Italian.
Yeah.
Where if you shoot over to like Utah or Idaho, I'm pretty sure Irish and Italian way down here compared to, Minnesota, I think, is primarily like Germans, Scandinavians, whatever.
So JD jumped in and said, oddly enough, if you want really good German food, go to San Antonio. That's interesting.
You know what? I would not be surprised because I've been to a few places in Texas, and they're really kind of like broth heavy.
Yes.
That's
a good
Austin,
point. Yeah,
I've been to San Antonio. They just have, you get these great sort of carts. They're not full-size food trucks, but there's these great push carts everywhere. Best, worst.
Right.
And they're really delicious.
So Ron just mentioned, check out the movie My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin as Italian and New York mob.
That's what we've been referencing.
Oh my gosh, that was the single best movie. I didn't know how Steve Martin. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, AR.
Mm-mm.
You dude, I'm telling
think
you,
it's
find
probably,
it, watch it. One of the
Steve Martin's a great actor.
There's gonna be a service on Netflix.
Yes, somewhere. Oh, it is. What when you get in witness protection? What's he looking for? What was it? Arugula or what was he looking for in the supermarket? I forget.
It's the sequel to Goodfellas.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It is. It is. That's what happened after Henry Hill relocated.
Yeah. So, but it is an awesome movie. It's absolutely.
It's fun. I mean, Steve Martin's a genius.
Oh, he was. I didn't think he'd be.
I do like
thought
Steve
he was
Martin.
miscast
So
before I saw the movie, and then after watching the movie, I was like, "Get out of here! This is too funny." So, all right. So let's move to let's move to something a little higher end. What do you guys think?
Why don't we do like a slab book?
I was gonna say I'm seeing those slabs up there.
All right, let's do a slab book. Pick one, John.
You know what? Let's do
it.
And I'm just gonna put my hands on this because I won't get the chance to.
It's John protected.
I know. It's Captain America 100.
Ooh, that's a good one.
CGC grade of 8. That's awfully high. This is when Tales
For that
of
type of a
Suspense
book.
makes the jump to
Wow.
being, Captain America in his own title.
So,
How'd you guys get a hold of that?
So Silver Age, Captain America number 100, CGC graded 8.0. And as John said it, a vintage comic like that graded that high is a rare thing indeed.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you don't see a whole lot of Silver Age books at 8, especially not at this price.
So the value on this is $8.95, and we have it tonight for $800. And we will do the 30-day payment plan, I would imagine.
I was going to say, if you're interested, email Rex, whatever, and he'll kind of do the breakdown where
we'll work it out with you.
Like if you can't swing the whole thing at once. I will say this though, I have seen this book for significantly more than $800, and it wasn't even at a 6. It was below a 6 for more money.
Wow.
And this was just 2019.
Yeah.
So, Captain America, let's be honest, the back issues are going up, everything's going up, particularly with Silver Age books. Do not wait. And I tell you why, because everybody knows the older a book gets, I'll pick it up in a couple of years. All right, well, now it's 60 years old.
I'm sure AR has covered it more than we have because we're just a couple of jokesters here, with comics. But, as you see,
Aren't you in theory supposed to be working?
I am working.
No.
I got to put up with you. I'm working hard.
That is where it's 2 jobs.
Right? So what we're seeing is collectibles certainly since the pandemic, it's really gone into high gear. We're seeing collectibles of all kinds, and it's not just comics. It's sports trading cards, it's memorabilia, it's all of the stuff has just kind of shot through the roof. And one of the things that certainly has been very consistent, even prior to the pandemic, have been Golden Age, Silver Age, especially
like Lee, Kirby, iconic characters like Captain America. These are essentially bulletproof purchases.
Exactly.
I mean, if you need to think of it that way, and we always tell people, buy what you like. I mean, this isn't CNBC. We're not trying to talk people into stocks or bonds or whatever. This is buying what you like. So no matter what happens to the value, you're happy. However, to just put it in a little bit of context, these books tend to kind of be bulletproof, especially when you get to a CGC grade of 8. That's really high for a Silver Age book.
It is. I mean, so
especially
I guess
one in particular.
What's that?
I said especially that one in particular. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's first Captain America in Silver Age comics in an 8. I mean, it's like John said, that one's not going down. That book's getting harder and harder to find. And for any Captain America fan, whether you're a Marvel fan, Captain America, Avengers, that is one of the better Captain America books to ever own. I mean, that's a massive key. To some people, that's even a massive grail,
Yeah, exactly. So, AR, what are you seeing in terms of that? In terms of appreciation of value and on Silver Age, Golden Age, just any kind of vintage books.
You guys are hitting it. It's not going down. It's only going up higher. I mean, can't speak for all Silver Age. Golden Age is a different story, but as far as Silver Age goes, you can find deals on a lot of books, but there's just these, like this one, there's these keys, and you're not, there's going to be a time where you're not going to be finding these anymore. We just saw Amazing Fantasy 15 that just sold at Heritage Auction in a 9.6 for what? After the fee, it was like 3.6 million or something crazy like that. 3 million.
I don't even think John has that much change in his car.
That'd be a big
but it's
car.
like that's Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man's, he is the hero to a lot of fans, but Captain America, he's up there too, and this is going to be a hard book to come by.
No, I agree with him.
I remember a few years back when Paul Allen from Microsoft, owns the Seattle Seahawks, started the Science Fiction Hall of Fame in Seattle. The year I was there, they announced that he had bought a copy of Action Comics #1 for like $1 million. And the reaction then was, first of all, that was ridiculous. Second of all, that's what happens when you have these Silicon Valley billionaires that they just do whatever they want with their money. And third of all, a book would never be more than $1 million. Now we're routinely seeing books way past $1 million. Like you just said, 3.6.
I'll get the real number on it, but it was insane.
It's just the $1 million mark is just not, you know what I mean? That's not what it was. And this was probably about 10 years ago. I was in Seattle at Emerald Con.
And stuff's reselling like inside of a year at a substantial appreciation, which that's probably
books.
Yeah, that's what's been pretty shocking, I think.
We're sort of seeing this, like sub-market of, I will say this though, certain books really don't get recirculated. I'm trying to think, I don't know if it's Giant Size Hulk #1, King Size Hulk #1, King Size Annual. It's a Jim Steranko cover. And it's sort of like an iconic Hulk pose. That book is almost impossible to find.
Right.
I remember a couple of years ago, Francisco Francovilla actually said to Jim Steranko when I was in line waiting for him to sign something, he's like, I can't find this book. And I'm thinking, dude, if you can't find this book, I'm never even going to see this book unless it's behind glass. But you know what I mean? And this is a guy, let's be honest, that's, like a top tier creator.
Right.
And he's having trouble finding these books, going to different shows. How many shows do these creators go to in a year?
Lately, not many at all.
Well, I mean, before the pandemic.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And he can't find it. That sort of puts it in perspective for me.
That's how difficult it is.
Captain America 100, chances are someone's going to pick this up and they're going to decide, do I really want to let this go? We're getting this thing where people are always trying to upgrade, right? Everybody wants like Amazing Fantasy 15. Right. Everybody wants Detective Comics 27. Everybody wants to get to that Holy Grail, right? But when you start getting to that rarefied air, you're only selling this book for something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like maybe Fantastic Four #1 is available. So you need to sell this as part of the trade to make it. There's not a lot at this level above Captain America 100. So chances are someone's going to buy this. They're going to keep it for a while.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
This is the one to have, in my opinion, because you're talking about Amazing Fantasy 15, which, by the way, after the fees, it was $3.6 million it sold for.
Ooh, wow!
But with this book, I mean, realistically, it's going into the same category of first appearance Spidey, first appearance Cap. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not going to be $3.6 million, but that's a golden age book. Who really is going to be selling that book anytime soon? Right. So in terms of, the average person or even someone who's really looking to spend some money on a book, this is the next best thing that anyone's probably going to be getting their hands on anytime soon. I
totally agree with you. And we got Sheldon in the house. Hey, Sheldon, thanks for joining us tonight, buddy. All right. So one more time, Captain America #100, CGC graded 8.0, and we have the one tonight for $800. Again, Silver Age book graded at 8.0. And we will do our 30-day payment plan for this book, realizing that it's, on a higher end.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the higher end books, we always try to offer some sort of payment plan, if you want to call it. You know what I mean? You always work with people. The purpose is to get the books out.
Yes,
not
that
to
is
say,
correct.
oh, sorry, it doesn't work out.
That is correct.
This is one of the higher, I will say it's one of the higher price items we're going to offer, but it's also one of the better deals.
Because
I'll tell you right now, you're going to see this at a show or a con, and it's not going to be $800 if you can find one at 8.0. It's just not.
Yeah, that's the other point.
Like, that's literally a book that you look at and you're like, wow, they have that on the wall. Like, that's a book I would like to hold because I can hold it. So going forward, that's going to be a very, that's a very big collection piece going forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And JD had jumped into the chat saying, you'll have to go to a museum to see a lot of these books going forward. And he's probably right about
one
that.
day.
Yeah, I think we're getting closer to that every day. But now, got to go to a character that we know John absolutely loves. Batman #48, Elite Gold Signature Series, signed by Tom King.
I feel ill.
You notice anything missing in today's lineup, John?
I feel so bad. Like, everyone comes at John for, his not even dislike, but he's not a big fan of Batman. I'm honestly not either.
Ooh,
Oh, you see
get
that?
support
It
from
just-
AR.
It is what it is.
Next week, we Comic Collectibles with AR and John.
If
I-
we're
I will
if
say
we're being
this.
completely honest, I'm not the biggest fan of DC in general. It's just it's not even that I have, any dislike towards those characters. My knowledge isn't there. And if I'm sticking to just superheroes, it's going to be more Marvel because that's what I grew up with. I can't hate on Batman. And if I do read something from DC that's superhero relating, it's probably going to be Batman. I was reading the Tynion run, but then, same thing. Same with Joker. I was reading the Robin series, because those are just characters that I know. But it happens every time I start reading these series and I tell myself, I'm just not invested in these characters. My knowledge isn't there. I don't know who some of these other characters are that they're interacting with.
Right.
And I end up dropping the series. It's not even that it's bad. It's that I don't know enough.
He's not connecting to it.
Yeah, I don't have a
let me say
connection to
this.
those characters.
The general rule of thumb is DC is better marginally at the big stuff. Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right.
A story with a definitive beginning, middle, and end.
Now, I can agree with that.
Marvel is better at your month-to-month book.
Yes.
And they have been for a long time, whether we're talking about Frank Miller and Daredevil. There's a time almost I'm an old guy. I remember Daredevil wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, right.
It's just month to month that different creators are working on the book. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. Miller jumps on the book, and now the spinner racks are going at 100 miles an hour, and the comic book shops are having the doors pulled off the hinges to get this thing. Marvel is better at your month to month books, whether it's Spider-Man, Daredevil, Hulk. It seems as if DC has trouble getting people tied into every non-Batman character month to month.
Right.
Yes.
Batman is the most popular character probably on the planet in terms of comic books. I mean, certainly giving his credit. So people are they're just endlessly consuming everything. But you talk to someone about Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, my personal favorite DC character, Green Lantern. There's always these runs and they're good, but then just like AR said, I'm kind of dialed out of it. You know what I mean? I am used to, people had trouble accepting different versions of characters, different Spider-Man, different Captain America, different whatever. When you're a Green Lantern fan, that ring gets passed around like crazy. Earth has 4 or 5 different Green Lanterns, and then there's other people that bomb in. You're literally used to getting these big hero shots by like Mike Grell, where there's like 1,000 Green Lanterns. So there's essentially nothing riveting about your character. It's he's basically a guy who gets he gets a job and he gets a ring and he's told to go do it. It's hard for you to buy into month to month. I think that's spot on.
So Batman number 48, Elite Gold Signature Series signed by Tom King, suggested retail of $89.99, and tonight we have one for $27 for Detective number 27. So if anybody wants to claim that is available tonight. And I think it's time to go to our next break.
Is it time for break?
It is. Can you believe it? So, JD, if you wouldn't mind, if you could take us to break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
You are watching Minute to Skim It on the Experience, so hello. All right, we've got lots of books to review for you guys today. And Hannah just basically showed up with just the number ones and showed them to me, and I was like, "Oh, we have
just for the indies."
Just for the indies, yeah. I was like, we have got a lot to do."
All right, and we're back with my buddy John, my buddy AR, and we had a request from our buddy Sheldon. Can you show the Thor book after the break? We sure can. So we have Thor number 17, and this is, I think Sheldon that's a good pick, my friend, because it is one of our $1 claim books.
Nice.
So we're gonna start the claims at $1 for Thor number 17. So there it is.
And to just review, whoever has the highest offer at $7.55 gets the book. It's very simple. Somebody says, I offer $5 for this book. Somebody offers 10. That's sort of how it goes.
And JD with Kitty.
What?
On the cover. Kitty.
Nice.
So Thor number 17, written by Donny Cates, art by Michelle Bandini, cover by Nick Klein, the epic finale of Revelations. So we have it tonight, and it is one of our starting at $1 claim books. So whoever offers the highest has the highest claim by the end of
best offer
the evening.
Takes it. It's
best offer takes it. Very well said, sir. So Sheldon, at this point, it's $1. I feel like RoboCop.
I know, right? I'll buy that for $1.
Oh man. So let us know if you are interested, Sheldon, and throw that claim up there, whatever you want, starting at $1. But it's something new that we started. I didn't even give AR any kind of warning that we were doing this tonight, but we figured let's do something different.
That's why he was cursing you out on the break. Amateurs. Throws his water at the monitor.
That's gonna hurt people, dude. He's got a whole gallon jug of water there, dude. Yeah. What's funny was I started up a conversation with one of those. We were just talking about Disney at the beginning of the show. When my daughter and I were there, the day before they shut the whole thing down due to the pandemic, I started up a conversation with somebody in their college program, their CP program that your niece is in, right?
Yep.
And the reason I started the conversation was he was waiting in line for the Tower of Terror with a big gallon jug of water like you're drinking right now.
Gotta stay hydrated.
But I'm thinking that has got to be so heavy to carry around. And where do you put it when you get on the ride? You're not taking that on a ride.
I was going to say,
that's different.
They probably don't let you take that on the ride.
Well, I think he knew that since he was like a cast member. But, I'm sitting there, and the reason I asked was because you're more than likely going to get in the same car as me, and I don't want you carrying that jug when that thing drops and it hits me in the head. It'll kill me.
One of the coolest things I own that people ask me about when we have company over are my rocks glasses for, whiskey and soda or whatever. And they all come from the Tower of Terror. And there's a ton of merch to buy at Disney. There is just an absolute ton of it. However, the only place, and this was up until 2018, I don't know if it's different now, the only place you could find these kind of whiskey glasses, the Tower of Terror, was at the gift shop when you get off the ride.
Right.
Shot glasses, beer glasses, that stuff you could get online or Disney.com or whatever. But the whiskey glasses were sort of like a park exclusive. If you've ever been to the park, there's certain items of clothing, hats, whatever, that are park exclusives. And for years, this was a park exclusive. And my wife couldn't believe when I bought 12 of them because, I'm going back to my hotel room, like a box of stuff. And it was not cheap to ship UPS back to New Jersey.
I can imagine.
But every time I drop ice in there and, some Pennsylvania rye.
I almost never.
Happy.
That's the main reason that I don't buy a lot of stuff at the gift shops is I don't want to carry it through the park. And I know they have, when you stay on property, they'll deliver it, but usually you don't think about it it takes a day before they can deliver it to your room. And I never think about that stuff until the last day.
I know.
I'm like, oh, we're leaving tomorrow, so we got to buy some stuff. And I'm like, oh, we can't get it delivered. Oh, we got a full day in the park. I don't want to carry this stuff around.
One of my bucket list places I want to stay at the Hollywood Tower Hotel. I'm hoping Disney becomes so flush with money at some point. They just build it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just build, because these things start as, real things and become attractions. I'm hoping it goes the other way again, like the Haunted Mansion. I would like to see these things, like we have Avengers Campus now.
Right.
So it seems to me you just have to wait long enough and spend enough money and eventually you get what you want.
So right now we have up Thor number 17. It is our $1, one of our $1 claim best offer books. And it was at the request of Sheldon. He wanted to see that book. So Sheldon, if you are interested in the Thor, let us know. And the claim started $1. So you wanted to do the statue. So we have a statue tonight.
I did, and this is one of these things where I actually will kind of take credit for it. This was an idea I had for a while, and I thought to myself, we have...
Oh, there we go. JD's got it up.
You got it up.
Yep.
We have Red Sonja this week. We had some very cool
awesome
Red Sonja
statue.
variants this week. Mirka Andolfo's run is just, it's sort of like the next taking Red Sonja to a different direction.
Right.
Different creators have different ideas of what Sonja is, right? I guess we have over on Indiegogo the seminal Red Sonja run, which is Gail Simone and Walter Giovanni. We have this new run, which is sort of almost like, let's look at Sonja this way. We have Queen Sonja. We had Sonja Versal. We have a variety, Hell Sonja. We have a bunch of books coming out. So I thought, what if we tried a statue? And we have some very cool statues that are kind of tucked away here and there. This is from the Women of Dynamite collection, and it is based on J. Scott Campbell, who we've talked about recently. This guy knows how to do a cover. He just, J. Scott Campbell is almost at like that Dave Stevens pinup level.
Right.
One of my favorite covers that he's ever done for Dynamite was Jungle Girl.
So, what is Amy? Do you mind looking up the size of the statue? Ron had a question. Dave has actually put an offer in for $25 on the statue. So right now Dave is in the lead, but Ron had a question about the size of the statue.
Does it say on there?
I don't know.
It can't be higher than.
And let's see. If you don't mind looking it up in the system to see if there's a description.
It can't be higher than like 18 inches.
I pulled it up.
I wouldn't think so. It is limited to 19. Wait, I don't know if which one is this? It's the limited edition statue. Okay, so, all right. So limited edition statue based on the art of J. Scott Campbell, sculpted by Jason Smith. Let me see. I believe this one is limited to 1,973 pieces. It has
73 the year Sonja first.
It has a suggested retail of $249.99. Ron, we're guessing 18.
I have the dimensions up.
I'm looking at the box. It literally can't be higher than 18 inches.
I don't know exactly which number this is limited to without opening it.
Let me see it.
Here.
Go ahead.
So
yeah, if you are interested, I have the dimensions up.
Cool. Thank you. Look at that, AR.
It says that it stands approximately 11.5 inches in height upon a decorative 5.5 inches wide base.
Ron, they don't listen, AR. So, but you are correct. So thank you, AR. The man who's checking the facts. It is Women of Dynamite, Red Sonja, J. Scott Campbell, based on J. Scott Campbell art.
That whole Women of Dynamite collection is just probably my favorite of the statues. And we've done a bunch of statues here. They really have had but the Women of Dynamite just sort of really kind of zeroed in on the vibe of, this sort of dual, punch you in the face and pin up cover combo that we do with these characters.
So right now we got Dave in the lead at 25. So for those of you just joining us, we have several items on the list tonight that will start at $1 for anybody that wants to claim it, and the person with the highest claim at $7.55 will walk away with it.
The best offer takes it. It's just very simple.
Yeah, very simple, very straightforward.
Follow along in the chat. Somebody offers $10 for it. You want it,
And if you are new to the show, tell us what you're claiming in the chat board. And Ron is claiming it for $50. So Ron is now in the lead. So if you're new to the show, JD will throw up a link, or there will be a QR code that you can scan in, which will bring you to a submission form. please fill that out. We'll get that. That will give us the relevant information of your shipping address, your real name, email. And we got Dave is up to 60. So we got Dave up to 60 for the J. Scott Campbell Red Sonja statue. And look,
Dave is here. Why did you not give me the Dave alert?
What?
Dave is here?
Dave's here.
And you did not give me the Dave alert?
Oh, shoot. My bad. I was supposed to give John the Dave. Did you write it down? I get so many emails from you.
We wanted to kind of give Dave a little bit of a shout out. Monday night, he very graciously bought a Green Hornet, Shadow Green Hornet Darkest Night, and gifted it to me.
That was very nice.
That was just a super classy move. Nick kind of didn't want him to have to pay for it. Dave is one of our guys. I am not used to receiving gifts. Usually we're here on the show giving stuff away at like ludicrously low prices.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but Ron just put a claim in for the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle with the Teenage Mutant Turtle head sketch for 10. So I'm sorry.
Nice. No, go ahead. That's way more important.
Yeah, no. What Dave did was really cool.
I messaged him, but I also just wanted to thank him on the show. Like I said, people don't generally buy books for us. That's something that's, that's exceptional. I mean, we try to sort of
I'm still waiting for you to make me a sandwich, and I haven't gotten that yet.
Your employer has said no food in the store. Greasy fingers.
We've had food delivery here while we're on the show, man.
Did we have somebody stand in front of the camera once?
Yes.
We had somebody stand in front of the camera.
That was the best.
Here, sign the bill. And I'm like, dude, we're doing a live show.
John's trying to, excuse me. Guy's on the phone.
Standing there. He's on the phone.
All you see is the dude's butt.
You see that? And I'm just like,
I'm cracking up because I just think it's so funny.
But before we press on, it's Dave. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was very cool, Dave.
That's very cool of you. Nick, sort of as a thank you for joining us, Nick is sort of going to, pick up the tab on that one. And quite frankly, he should, because
I agree.
Is there a more valuable component to Dynamite than me?
I'm not answering that question.
Literally
everyone
else.
I do genuinely like you.
Literally everyone else.
But Dave says, no way, dude. I'm Italian Sicilian. You got to accept the gift. It's sincere. I pick on John constantly, but it's brotherly love. Dave, we love you, man.
Well, Dave, we really much love. Seriously,
we appreciate that you're a regular, on our show, and we really appreciate that.
I'm seriously considering getting that slab, but you know what I mean. Like maybe when CGC catches up just a little bit more, because it's a beautiful book. And
now that you bring that up, I don't know if you guys are on any Facebook groups or anything for comic books, but I'm seeing. Well, I mean, it goes both ways, but I'm seeing a lot of posts lately about they're literally getting their CGC books back within like less than a week for regular
submissions.
Yeah, regular submissions. And they're saying, is this right? Like it's literally them showing their emails. That's like, wow, is this real?
I read one of their press releases recently that they had expanded. They hired, they're trying to tool up to a whole bunch of new employees. They've expanded a new 21,000 square foot facility. And so I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, they're doing their best. I mean,
it's been a while too. We've been telling people for a while now. They've been backed up. Not to be a jerk, but I think they've been backed up since like March or April.
Well, I know that Dave, he submitted a book in April, and I think maybe it was a week or 2 weeks ago.
Didn't he just get it a couple weeks ago?
He just got it back.
You might want to weigh in on that.
So, they're trying, just like everybody else. I mean, right now, Wawa's running out of coffee.
I mean,
you got
CBCS still has my books from the beginning of May. It's been in labels for 2 months.
Well, I this morning, as I'm getting my morning coffee, I'm watching the news. I hear that Target, all the big retailers are doing their Black Friday, their Christmas shopping specials now because they're afraid that as we get closer to Christmas, they're going to be out of stock because it's the stuff's there sitting waiting to get to port, but it's not just the dock workers anymore. It's truck drivers. It's everything. Just getting those containers unloaded from the ships.
I want to believe it's because everyone is watching this show. Literally tens of thousands of laborers transfixed by our show. At which point I would say, Go to work. We'll be here when you're done.
If you believe that, your bourbon that you're drinking at home is much better than my bourbon. Please bring some in so I can share it
The
with
bourbon
you.
I'm currently drinking at home is made in Pennsylvania by a very small local batch maker.
Well, that's got to be some great stuff,
And
brother.
it is clear white. There
JD,
is no-
of course we want bourbon. I do too.
We're
But
in
you know what
PA.
he does, John? He just posts pictures of the food, the
What?
bourbon, and we never see any of it.
Right?
Promising me coffee that never gets here.
Technically, it's not bourbon. It's white corn whiskey. And I have to tell you that
I'd be able to know the difference if you brought some for us to drink. Notice he shuts up now. Now he's got nothing to say.
No,
Look at that.
Generally it comes in like an old mayonnaise jar. So I'll see if I can.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay
I went to
with
college in Virginia, buddy. All right, I've had that corn mash and not really sure what they cut it with.
that. I gotta
Dude.
tell you, usually witch hazel, man.
I didn't wear glasses back then. Look what happened.
By the way, speaking of Steve Martin, you guys ever see Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was another classic by
Oklahoma. That's right. I forgot all about that.
So all right, so where are we at here? Let's go to. Should we do a high-end limited edition? What do you think? Or should we go to another remark? What do you think? What do you guys think? What do you guys want to
You
do?
know what? Let's
No.
do that remark in the corner. The Walking Dead is about as popular a book as has come out in the last 20 years.
There you go.
I love The Walking Dead.
I mean, The Walking
Honestly.
Dead is sort of like a pop culture phenomenon.
So
I
this
guess
one
we'll call
is
it.
signed by Stefano Guadiano and has a remark, obviously, by Ken Hazer. And it has a suggested retail of $99.99.
Awesome.
But we have it priced tonight at $19.92 for the year that Image launched. That's a good reason. And we have one available.
And I'll tell you, that's sort of a really sweet price for, Walking Dead. Let's be honest, this stuff is pricey. I mean, you can't get a T-shirt at a con for $20 for The Walking Dead.
Yeah, right.
Let's just kind of call it as it is. And I love The Walking Dead. No diss whatsoever. But when something is that popular, it's real expensive.
It's about scarcity, right? When something's popular and people want it,
The hoodies, Walking Dead hoodies were selling for $199
What?
in 2018.
Whoa, that's crazy, man.
Con floor in the con floor in Atlanta, Dragon Con.
I must be an old guy with
$199.
way too many bills because I wouldn't pay $199 for nothing. My daughter, on the other hand, will buy all kinds of stuff for
She'll
$199.
pay for your.
She buys ripped up jeans for $199. I'm thinking, you know what? Go get a pair of Levi's. I'll rip it for you for free at home. This is nuts.
Pop, you don't get it.
It ain't pop, okay? I don't have any grandchildren yet.
I
See?
stopped asking questions. I just asked my niece and my godchildren what's it going to cost.
Next Monday, nothing but Batman books.
Nothing
No
but
more
Batman.
Green Hornets ever. This is my retaliation against John.
Next week is going to be a Green Hornet statue, life size.
That actually may happen. You probably have more influence than I do. So, Walking Dead number 150, signed by Stefano Guadiano, remarked by Ken Hazer. $99.99 is suggested retail. Tonight we have it for $19.92. We only have the one available. And as usual, anything that's a Ken Hazer remark is one of a kind. So, any remark
Yeah,
really is
any
one of a
remark is, but for people who are looking for signed books, collectibles, unique sort of things, original art, we've talked about this a lot. The remarks touch sort of a little bit of DNA in each of those things.
Right.
You know what I mean? I say it all the time. If I was a collector starting today from go, like literally nothing other than my comics, and I want to start collecting something, I would start with remarks.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
wouldn't start with slabs.
back in
I
the
wouldn't
olden
start-
days when you started collecting, back before, when they just invented paper,
when comics were in 4 colors.
they had come up with the concept of remarks. So we have Elvis joining us tonight. Thank you, Elvis. And he's
Thank
like,
you,
what's
Elvis.
up, AR Comics? I enjoy your content and your channel and keep up the great work, bud. And he's absolutely right. Again, JD, when you get a chance to throw up, there we go. Look at that. He's so fast.
We like to kind of bring guests in. Of course, these people are busy. We appreciate AR taking his time. We appreciate Robbie when he takes his time. Some of the other people who join us, we appreciate their time. But we try to sort of have these people join us to enhance the experience for people who join us in the show.
Well, we're all kind of pushing or rowing in the same direction, if you will. We're trying to expand the world of comic collectors.
Yes.
And for us, we're we're not competing with each other ever. We're all in the same community.
Yeah, we're all sort of at the same goal.
We're trying to instead of we want to bring you into the comic collecting world. So instead of collecting watches per se, we want you to start collecting comics and realize why we love it, why we do it. Why AR has all of his content shows on his YouTube channel, which are fantastic. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to recreate that local comics shop.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, and we talk about this, not to bring the show down, but
here it comes.
No, since the year 2000, according to I think it was Forbes, half the comic book stores in this country have closed.
Yeah,
less than 10% of them reopened. So that's like a net loss of 45% or whatever it is.
Yeah, and this was before the pandemic.
And this was before the pandemic. This study came out in like 2016 or 17. So in like a 16, 17-year period, we lost roughly 4 out of every 10 comic book stores in this country.
I mean, we talk about this every show, and we talk about it with AR. We genuinely encourage everybody that's watching to support your local comic book shop, because it's what you're talking about is very significant, because it's not just the local brick and mortar shops are really facing the headwinds, because even before then, and probably why you saw the study you saw, was that we're losing brick and mortar stores because more people are shifting their buying habits to online.
Yeah.
And then you get smacked in the face with the pandemic, and now everybody's forced to. I bought a lot of things online I never would have bought.
Even in the best of times, being a small business, independent business person is difficult.
Yes.
I did it for decades, and I'll tell you, you can go blind on the paperwork. There's constant fees. You might misstep, even if you don't mean to, with the best of intentions. It's difficult. Then you have the trend in the last decade towards digital comics. Amazon buys Comixology. You know what I mean? It's very difficult for, Rex's comic shop. He goes every day. He opened it.
Well, I know AR is obviously a great supporter of his local store. But
I love my shops.
I'm glad that they're still there. I mean, it's getting to the point where you don't want to take the road of the local hardware store that got swallowed up by Home Depot or Lowe's.
I'll tell you who talked about this a little bit a couple of years ago was Ming Chen.
Yeah.
He talked about this at a show. It wasn't a con, it was a show in Newark. And of course, comic book men were there. And he talks about, and I really think it's like a very salient point. He's like, not every comic book shop is owned by Kevin Smith and has a TV show.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not, they sort of already have a massive leg up.
Right. No, I agree.
Pretty much being owned by, this country's, top of the food chain, nerd culture guy. Then they have a show. The members of the show have sort of become, nerd celebrities on their own. Most stores don't have that sort of, which is, I'll tell you another thing. I think it's important why stores, if they can afford to, should try to commission variants like Midtown Comics.
That too.
Because that really puts, I read an article after we had the last Midtown Comic variant. Midtown Comics, they sort of, they generate a lot of interest.
Right.
Like, why do these people have their own variant? And next thing you know, they're at their website, they visit the store.
And drives traffic.
It drives traffic. Yeah.
No, I think that's
super
that's
important.
critical.
That's the biggest reason we're here. I mean, let's be honest. A little peek behind the curtain. All this stuff could just go up online. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We could do like a podcast or like a video.
But there's something lost there. There's something lost there.
But something is lost in that interaction. We have AR join us. We have our regulars join us on the show because people want to talk about comics. They want to community have a good time.
So before we have to go to our next break, let's do a signed comic. So let's do X-Men Forever #2, signed by somebody I think as well as a legendary creator, Chris Claremont. And it is a suggested retail of $49.99, and we have one tonight for $19.63. The year the X-Men first appeared.
And I'll tell you who does the cover is a guy who gets a little bit lost in the shuffle, is Tom Grummett. This guy is a great artist, and he's, when you're talking in a conversation, waiting to get into a panel at a con, his name might not be the first name that comes up, but going as far back as like Superboy in the 90s, Drummond has just consistently done great work. You look at this cover, partnering with Claremont. Claremont signs the book. Again, you
Agreed.
can't find an X-Men shirt for $20.
Yeah. Agreed.
To get a signed book,
So X-Men Forever #2, signed by legend Chris Claremont. Suggested retail of $49.99, but tonight we're going to do it for $19.63. So a bargain, a bargain at that price for somebody that really is somebody I was a big fan of, growing up.
Chris Claremont talked about he was part of a biography on Amazon, and he talked about why he enjoys signing books, and he said he feels like it adds a step to connect him to his fans, whether they be fans from 30 years ago or fans that he discovered him 30 minutes ago. He loves signing books. He does, he doesn't sign nobody signs as much as they'd like to. And I think, if you're a Claremont fan, if you're an X-Men fan, this is like a sweet little stop on the shelf.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, you know what? I think we got to go to break soon.
Do we have time to do a little recap where we are with
we could probably do a quick
best
recap.
offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1 with the Batman head sketch by Ken Hazer. We have our buddy Ron in the lead at $10 for his claim. Nice. Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 with the Mutant Ninja Turtle head sketch. Ron is in the lead with a claim of $10. Let's see. We have Doc Savage #5, Alex Ross, ultra limited non-trade dress cover. One of suggested retail of $75. One of our perfect 10 reads at $10. The Walking Dead #150, signed by Stefano Guadiano and remarked by Ken Hazer. And we have that suggested retail of $99.99. We have that tonight at $19.92. Batman #48, Elite Gold Signature Series, signed by Tom King. Suggested retail of $89.99. And we have that for $27 for Detective #27. We just had the X-Men Forever #2, signed by legendary Chris Claremont. Suggested retail of $49.99. We have it tonight for $19.63. Then we had the Captain America #100, CGC graded 8.0 with a value of $895. We have it tonight for $800 with a payment plan if it's something that you're interested in. We have the Women of Dynamite, Red Sonja, J. Scott Campbell statue. And we have Dave in the lead at $60 for that one. And then we have
Dave, this statue is sweet beyond the telling of it. It really is.
Then we have Deathstroke Inc. #1, and that was one of our $1 claim books, starting at $1 claim books. And we have James in the lead, Jim Kahoric at $2. And then we have Thor #17 that Sheldon asked to look at. And that has no claims as of yet. So if you claim $1 and that's the only claim at $7.55 tonight, you walk away with it for $1. RoboCop.
I know, right? I buy that for $1.
Buy that for $1.
That's the whole point of best offer takes it.
Exactly.
I mean, you literally were here for 2 hours. The best offer at $7.55 takes the book. It's that simple.
Exactly. So JD, if you would take us a break and we will be right back. Hey, and we're back.
Back.
And you got me, you got John, you got AR. So just talking comics, having fun, and other topics that might
Just
slide into our
explain.
head.
I have to man all the other social media platforms. You laugh at me for having the phone, but yet I have to respond to Twitter, Instagram,
So busy. So busy.
Facebook. People message on these different platforms. I'm just explaining to people how simple Best Offer Takes It works. I know this is new. Maybe not everybody. I know our regulars get it, but maybe some of the newer people
Right.
might not get it. These books start at $1, and whatever offer you make on it in excess of $1, back and forth it goes. It's $7.55, we call it. Whatever the best offer is, you take it. There's the link. Click it, fill out the form. Rex sends you your book.
So Dave has a question for AR. Did you get to see the Venom 2 movie yet?
I did.
You did.
I did see
have
it.
not. John has not, right?
I have.
You have. John's seen it. So I'm the only one out of the group that hasn't seen it. But go
Leave
ahead.
the room so we can talk about the movie.
That's right. I got a buddy who called me during the day. He went and saw it last night, so he's gonna spoil it for me anyway. He does that. I'm like, don't spoil it for me, and then he does it anyway.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna spoil it, but I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I kind of felt the same way with this. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I feel like the movie exists. It was way too short in my opinion. I read that they cut like 35 minutes out of the movie, and in my opinion, I feel like they probably ended up cutting really good stuff out of the movie. There was too much story and not enough Woody Harrelson.
Action.
Okay. So
My thoughts are pretty similar.
Pretty similar.
Woody made the movie. He was phenomenal, and I didn't have high hopes for him to be Carnage. Like, I think he's an incredible actor, but I really didn't think that Carnage was going to be the right choice for him. I was totally wrong.
The Michael
He was a great
Keaton
pick.
syndrome?
Oh, he totally killed it.
He killed
I
it.
don't think that's not up for debate. I don't think. For me personally, to just expand on what AR said, all his points are spot on. But for me personally, and I don't think I'm alone in this, the Sony offshoot, just like the Fox offshoot of Marvel properties, really don't hold up. Like, I think like we watched X-Men 2. It was just on and we left it on.
Right.
And when X-Men 2 first came out, you're like, oh, you know what? This is pretty good. And now after, how many Marvel movies in 10 years, that stuff doesn't, for me personally, hold up anymore. It's really like weak tea compared to when you have Marvel Studios doing Marvel properties, and then I know they made this horrible deal with Sony way back when for Spider-Man, and it's like a big legal mess. They're trying to avoid any kind of litigation to get it back or whatever. It's just not there for me. It's just not like Spider-Man, because of the actor kind of connects for me. Plus, the actor has been in some of the Marvel stuff.
Right.
But Venom, it always
not
seems
working.
like on the outside. Tom Hardy would have probably not been my pick to be Eddie Brock.
Yeah, I thought that was an odd, and I actually watched the movie on a plane, believe it or not. I was traveling to Taiwan to see my parents, and I was watching it on a plane, and I'm like, and let me say that my standards for a movie are much lower when I'm trapped on a plane for 16 hours.
I agree with you.
All right, I will consume almost anything just to make the time go by.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't. It really didn't. I don't know. Call it what you will. But we got Ron here who would like to see more slab books. So, Ron, we have a surprise for you. I marked one down that I thought would be right up your alley. Hold on a second, because I lost where I circled it. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. The Star Wars action.
I knew. I was already grabbing the Star Wars book.
So we have Star Wars High Republic Adventures, The Monster of Temple Peak, #1, CGC graded 9.8. All right. So, Ron, are you sitting down?
This is racial stuff.
I think even your wife might be okay with this one, Ron. Okay. This is going to be one of our dollar claim books for the night. So you can claim this book starting for $1. Again, it is Star Wars High Republic
it's a slab book
Adventures, the Monster of Temple Peak #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8, because we only have the one. And you can offer $1 for it if you want. And it is yours. So Good call on that one, Ron. So the Venom movie. So my buddy called me today, and he went to see it last.
Do we have Venom up here?
What's that?
Do we have Venom up here?
I don't think so. I don't think we've got Venom up here tonight. But anyway, so my buddy.
Ryan. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So my buddy called me and told me, and this is how he kind of phrased it for me. He said that it was certainly not Shang-Chi. It certainly was not Avengers. He said, but it was better than the FF reboot.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the top to the bottom, that FF reboot is yikes. I mean, it makes Electro look good, and that's hard.
So, yeah, right.
What's funny?
Ron is claiming the Star Wars CGC graded 9.8 for $10. So Ron,
I think $10.05. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I absolutely do not do that.
So that's how my buddy, because I always tell him don't spoil it for me. So Adam, if you're watching, don't call me later and spoil it for me. But that's how he kind of ranked it. So which kind of says kind of lets me sort of know what to expect from the movie. Not as bad as the FF reboot, but certainly nowhere near Shang-Chi or
I think that appeals more to a mainstream audience.
All right, so 1 second. So Dave is putting in an offer at $15 for the Star Wars book. Slab CGC 9.8.
I would be surprised. This is a book that I think people are going to be dueling for a little bit. A slab book is now even at $15. The Rachel Stote cover and art alone is at 9.8. Best of luck to whoever gets it at 7.55.
So this is interesting. So Dave and Ron are in a little bit of a battle here. So Ron says he claims the Monster Temple peak at $15, and then in parentheses, come on, Ron, let's spar. And then now wait. So Ron has responded by offering $75 on the statue, which Dave was in the lead in for $60. All right. And I want to warn Dave, don't make him send his wife. With the stun gun to California. All right. So Dave is right back. So Dave is right back with 80. Okay. And Ron's probably going to come in with 85 plus a stun gun.
Do we have a stun gun emoji?
I don't know. JD, do we have a stun gun emoji?
The electrical effects?
So let's see. So Ron is going back to the Star Wars for 20. So his latest claim is 20. Well, this is a lot more work for me. I don't know if you guys realize that.
We need to get a third person to the cast of the scoreboard.
Yeah, right. I need like a scoreboard or something, right? So, all right. So we've got Ron in the lead for the Star Wars graded CGC at 9.8. And then we've got, okay, Ron, which one do you want more? Let's do a friendly comic shop trade. See? Dave's intimidated by Ron's wife and the stun gun. We've talked about it so often.
You know what? I'm intimidated by anybody's wife with the wild eyes and the stun gun.
Well, if Ron's got to go into the witness protection program, I'm saying his wife wins. Okay. But
you're looking at the exact reason why we do this, right? We want to get this stuff into people's hands. Preferably, we want to get it into the hands of our regular viewers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The statue is gorgeous. A slab 9.8 Star Wars book at $20, $25, whatever it goes for. I mean, that's just unheard of.
And Sheldon is in on the Thor number 17 for $2.
Okay.
So got you down for that. All right. So Ron says he'll take the Star Wars book. My wife is on the phone with her parole officer. I have a few minutes. Oh man, I love it. I absolutely love it, guys. I just between the two of them, we appreciate Ron, we appreciate Dave.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody that takes the time out to join us.
Absolutely.
We say it all the time because
you guys are great. I mean, we really do appreciate you guys.
And a lot of times we pick stuff with you guys in mind.
We do.
We kind of notice what you like, and when they're doing the deep dive in the levels of the Dynamite Vault, they're trying to kind of find stuff that appeals to people.
So Dave has a request. He wants to know if there are any vegan covers on that shelf, and I'm sure that we have some.
Well, we have the Doc Savage.
I was going to say the Doc Savage one, 100%.
We have a Red Sonja here too, don't we?
We have a Red Sonja.
We do.
The Stray Dogs one, I believe. Well, the Red Sonja Stray Dogs.
Cover.
Which one is that?
This is Red Sonja number 11, high-end virgin art. Jenny Frison cover.
So we have the Red Sonja number 11 high-end Jenny Frison ultra limited cover. Suggested retail of $75, and we have that tonight one at $19.73. And with that, I know that Dave is okay. So cool. I'll relax on the. I'll go for the statue. Okay. So I know Dave is a big fan of the Virgin covers, but also of Red Sonja and stuff. So we also have the Red Sonja number 12 tonight, high-end Jenny Frison ultra limited cover. Also suggested retail of $75, but tonight we have it for $19.73. So both Red Sonja number 11, Red Sonja number 12, both at the same price of $19.
These are just so
Dave,
cool.
which one are you claiming? Is it the number 11 or number 12? Let us know. And I will jot you down in here. So let us know, Dave, which one. Is it 11 or 12? Or you can shoot me an email if you want. Either or is fine. But let's see. Okay, so I got that down in my notes. So Dave's got that one. But what were we talking about? I got distracted. What were you talking about?
Does it ever matter? Well, I want to try to get through a few more books before we kind of.
What do we want to do next?
I'll tell you. I want to.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Since Dave,
that's an awesome cover.
Dave's looking for the Virgin covers. We also have the Vampirella tonight.
I was just going to say, why don't we?
All right. Okay. So Dave wants a 12. Okay. Gotcha, Dave. Got you down for number 12. Let's see. Hold on. Dave. Let's see. Okay. All right. So we're good. Good. All right. I got it all down. We're straight. All right. So Dave is claiming Red Sonja number 12, high-end Jenny Frison, ultra limited cover. So then we also have the Vampirella Strikes number 4, high-end Blood Red ultra limited edition. But that's okay. That's not a. That's
that
not a
is not
cover, though.
Trade Undressed, but
it's still quite
Johnny
a cover.
Desjardins. This is woof.
Suggested retail of $50, and we have that tonight for $19.69 for the year that Vampirella first appeared.
I love the Blood Red stuff, man. It's just very, very cool.
We talk about this, when you do, whether it be the single solid color or the line art, it really brings the art out.
There's only 100 of these. You know what I mean?
So
when you think about it, there's 100 of them.
Right. So Vampirella, high-end Blood Red, ultra limited edition. There are only 100 that were ever printed. So you talk about, for a signed book, that's very, very limited. Certainly for something like this, where you're publishing, because believe it or not, printers don't like to do these small.
No, I mean
it's
not, it's not their favorite thing in the world when they get me on the phone saying, "I need more emerald green stuff." It's just the line goes dead.
Right. No, exactly. So you realize that as a publisher, obviously the cost goes up because the price per unit to print goes up when you're doing smaller quantities. It's kind of crazy how it works, but it's just sort of how it works.
I wanted to show this because this is super cool.
What is it?
There is a time that makes me very happy, and that's when Dynamite and Marvel were kind of co-producing some stuff. Invaders was the big one, but this is the Torch, signed by Alex Ross, and this is the Dynamic Forces. Yeah, this is the Dynamic Forces alternate cover.
Cool.
So the Torch number 3 DF exclusive cover, Alex Ross
Marvel
alternate cover, signed by Alex Ross, and we have one tonight available at $29.99. Again, Alex Ross signatures are just becoming increasingly hard to come by.
Yeah, I mean, I think he sort of, he's signed a ton of stuff, and he's like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think now he sort of lets everyone.
Now, AR, you're planning to go to a con soon, right?
Oh, it was actually this last weekend.
Oh, you okay? Yeah. I remember you telling us. So, how was it?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I can't tell if it was bigger than what it was a couple of years ago because last year it was canceled because of COVID.
Right.
I think 2 years ago it was just way more compact. Like the venue itself was way smaller. So I feel like this year it was bigger. It was definitely a way bigger room, but there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a ton of dollar bins, the wall books for, being a small, well, I guess they consider it pretty big, but in my opinion, smaller con, they had some awesome wall books. Like one of my shops, Deadlift Collectibles, the books that they have, I don't know how he gets a hold of these collections, but he has the books that he puts up. Like he had a giant size X-Men 1, Fantastic Four. He had multiple ones of those. He had first, I think it was the first Silver Surfer, and he had first, he had another big one there too for Fantastic Four. But just awesome stuff there to see. Even if I didn't buy much, I ended up buying. Actually, I think I bought like $250 worth of books.
How were the crowds?
Pretty big.
That's good.
Probably not as big as I thought it would be. I thought there'd be a lot more people, but I think that may have had to do with it being just kind of a bigger venue space. It was a little bit more spread out. Right. Everyone had to wear masks, stuff like that. But it was a good time. I got a lot of like sets.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I sometimes get a little bit concerned about, the way things are lingering, how people are going to start interacting.
Right.
And, not just cons, but, my particular interest of comics. A lot of my years before I retired were geared around cons. Which, I would sort of
shocked to hear that, John.
No, I would sort of have. Am I going to Atlanta? Am I going to San Diego? Like, what am I doing? Chicago.
Right.
And that's how I would do like work and jobs and stuff like that over the years. And it's, it's hard. It's difficult. That another thing people don't realize that larger cons really help local economies.
Yeah, they do.
If you look in and around San Diego, which is probably the major con.
Not that they need a lot of help in San Diego.
No, but I mean, there's this massive undercurrent economy that grows up, whether it's people doing Sonora dogs on the street, people selling pirated merchandise because, people didn't have another $60 to drop on a Green Arrow shirt. There's an entire economy that surrounds these cons, the restaurants, the bars.
Oh, of course. So I mean, it stimulates the entire economy. Any other signed books? You know what, Ron? I'm sure we have some. So let's take a look.
We have this one for Power Rangers fans.
Ooh, let's do that.
Steve Orlando signed this in Green Ranger Green. We don't do a lot. You've heard me complain about it, but you don't sort of see a lot of green.
I ignore most of your complaints. All right, so Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #9, signed by Steve Orlando in Green Ranger Green.
Yeah.
Suggested retail of $59.99, and tonight we have it for $29.99. So that one is available tonight. We have one available, and since Ron asked for signed books, let's do this one. The Living Corpse, Exhumed #1, Silver Signature Series, signed by Ken Hazer and Buzz Hassan. Suggested retail of $69.99, and this is another one of our $1 claim books. So if you're interested in Living Corpse, Exhumed #1, Silver Signature by Ken Hazer and Buzz Hassan, we have it tonight starting at $1.
Best offer takes it late in the game.
Best offer
now,
takes it.
Let me be clear for the best offer takes it. There's 5 minutes left.
Yes, as JD has put in the chat.
Oh, did he put it in there? We're at like the 5 minute mark. So
he's probably not using a cool Invicta watch like you are to tell the time, but he still tells the time. Pretty good.
Sure, okay.
He came rolling in here buzzing about his new watch. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about the watch. And I'm like,
well, it's funny because I ordered this a while back, and then usually because I'm a Club Invicta, the watch usually comes pretty quickly. It's like FedEx second day air or whatever, and it didn't come. And I'm like, what's going on? And I kind of didn't take care of it right away. And I had to email a bunch of different people, and I'm like, hey, I just put in a claim here. I didn't look when I bought this watch. It didn't drop till October 1st. So
read the fine print, man.
They're like, available October 1st. It was actually a pre-order.
Read the fine print, bro. Let's see. Ronald is claiming the Living Corpse Exhumed for making an offer of $10. I've got that down, Ron, my friend. So time is on your side, obviously, because now we're down to 3 minutes, I guess.
That's a cool book.
So you know what? Let's just do another quick recap. What do you think?
Hey, super quick.
Well, I just want to make sure we've got people wanted signed books. We had Trade Undress.
We had Trade Undress. We've got a couple of.
We got to throw this out here because I love this thing.
Firefly.
I'm like a longtime brown coat. If you've watched Firefly, you know what this is.
Oh, I love that series.
Boom Studios does a great job with this book. I mean, Firefly, gone too soon. Various issues kept it from returning, other than for the Serenity movie. Anybody who's watched it knows the Blue Sun Corporation, basically Firefly's Hydra. Blue Sun Rising is a really, really cool storyline.
So Sheldon is actually looking for the slab. So that one, the Firefly Blue Sun Rising #0, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99, and is one of our 5-star books at $50, and we have one. And we also have, let's do the Iron Man.
That's crazy. That's
and
crazy
then
low.
we also have Iron Man #1.
These Fireflies do not have big print runs.
No, they don't. Iron Man #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have that at it is one of our $50 5-star books, and I think
one of them.
There's one. There's always
so basically, you're getting the 9.8.
Yes, so guaranteed 9.8. And I think that covers
Firefly,
all our slab books.
They don't print a ton of these books. $50. If anybody who is a brown coat or collectible of slabs, $50 is great. It's a beautiful cover.
So let's do a real quick recap before we get out of here. So Batman,
like 2 minutes, people.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the Batman head sketch. Ron is in the lead with his claim of offer of $10. The Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 with the Mutant Ninja Turtle head sketch. Ron is in the lead with a claim offer of $10. Let's see. We have the Doc Savage #5 high-end Alex Ross ultra limited Virgin art cover, and it is one of our perfect 10 reads at $10.
That's an absolute steal.
We have Red.
That might come home with me. Don't let me take it home.
We have Red Sonja #11 high-end Jenny Frison Virgin art ultra limited cover. Suggested retail of $75. We have that for $19.73. I know he bought the #12.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. 12.
He claimed #12. We have Walking Dead #150 signed by Stefano Guadiano and remarked by Ken Hazer. We have that tonight for $19.92.
Nice.
Vampirella Strikes #4 high-end Blood Red ultra limited edition. Suggested retail of $50. We have that for $19.69. We have one of those. Batman #48 Elite Gold Signature Series signed by Tom King. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have that one available for $27 tonight. Living Corpse Exhumed #1 Silver Signature Series signed by Ken Hazer and Buzz Hassan. Ron is in the lead with a claim of $10. Dave is claiming Iron Man #1 for $50 if no one else wants it. Dave, nice. I'm going to write you down there for that one. We have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #9 signed by Steve Orlando in Green Ranger Green. Suggested retail $59.99. We have that tonight for $29.99. We have the Torch #3 DF exclusive cover signed by Alex Ross with the Alex Ross alternate cover, and we have that for $29.99. X-Men Forever #2 signed by Chris Claremont. Suggested retail $49.99. We have that tonight for $19.
$87.55. We are done.
$19.63. I'm still talking so. Firefly Blue Sun Rising #0 CGC graded 9.8. You can still claim while I'm still talking. I don't care.
That would be 8:30.
I don't care. So Star Wars, High Republic. All right. All the claim ones, the highest claim ones are done. So let me see.
And super quick with that Power Rangers book.
That Power Rangers.
That's a first appearance and actually a pretty good one. That's the first appearance of Lord Draken. And he pretty much is throughout the rest of the series, and he's currently in the newest series as well. So that's a fairly long time standing character at this point. It's not really somebody new, but it's an alternate reality version of an already established character. So while it is a first appearance, it's just an alternate reality of a different one. But it still is a pretty important character.
Actual facts.
I know, right? Not just it's great.
So, because John and I don't actually have any facts, and we're really slow at Googling stuff.
These books will be available after the show. If they're here, the prices will be on.
Let me clarify that. So if you're catching the show after, you're not catching the show live, you're watching the recording of it on YouTube. Any books that are still available, we will honor the price that was given tonight, except for the claim offer books that start at $1. Obviously, those are done.
Yeah,
at the
Best
end of the
Offer
show.
Takes It is started and finished at the gun.
Correct.
They're
So, but anything else that is not one of those claim offer books with
so who's
price,
taking home the statue?
I think it is Dave. I think Dave and Ron came to an agreement because even Dave was somewhat frightened by Ron's wife
This
and her
statue,
stun gun and did not want to get into that zone.
this statue is
So
awesome.
Dave gave up on the Star Wars Slab comic, but is taking the statue. They had a gentleman's agreement
and that's how it works.
And there it is. There it is. Good job, JD.
Nice.
But check with Ron to make sure that was the model. Yeah, she didn't get one of those ones with the darts, So when Ron tries to run,
Let's make sure to thank
she can get
AR
him.
for joining us.
Thank you, AR, as always.
Oh no, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure.
Chat,
Yes, please check out his channel, his YouTube channel. And before we get out of here, if JD can throw that up one more time, definitely check it out if you haven't checked out JD's
Thanks everybody for
channel
joining
before.
us.
Thank you, everybody,
Thank
for
you,
joining
Nick,
us.
for leaving your office door unlocked so we can get to your stuff.
And again, thank everybody out there for watching tonight. We appreciate it. We realize that you have other things you can be doing.
We appreciate it.
Yep, and we appreciate you spending your time with us.
We have
Thank
original
you,
art
as
on
always.
Friday.
Yes, original art from
Rex
7 to
and
8
I-
on Friday.
Yep, and Rex and I will be back on Monday.
Yep, for another Comic Collectibles and Wednesday as well.
Have a good new comic book day, everybody. JD, take us out.
She